Hey everybody, it's Chris from Foothills Painting. I get asked a lot when I'm doing cabinets, like what's the process? And it really depends on where your cabinets are at, really. Like you've got your kitchen cabinets, if it's all stained already, stained and clear coated, the process is a little bit more involved than if you were to repaint some existing painted cabinets. Because after they're painted, they've been caulked, they've been primed, they've been everything like that. So all you got to do is give it a little scuff with a very fine bit of sandpaper, prime it and paint it. If it's close enough to the same color, you could just paint it as long as they're clean. But I always prime first. I always add a prime coat because you never know what's going on underneath the paint. So when you got stain to paint, it's the exact opposite. Everything is stained. Everything is clear coated with a polyurethane coat, which is, got mad scientist eyebrows going on here, which is just clear coat, makes it shiny, and it protects the stained wood from moisture and accidents, knocking them, hitting them, whatnot. So the process with stain to paint is a little bit more involved. It costs a little bit more than if it was just paint on paint, because not only do you have to really sand it good, you have to really get into that poly coat so that the primer coat, a bonding primer coat, can bond to your doors. After you sand and you hit it with a primer coat, give it a soft sand with like a 220 grit sandpaper to kind of smooth out any kind of little nasties that come out of the gun every now and then. When you're spraying, paint dries on the tip of your gun. So when you hit it and the pressure goes, it pushes some of those onto the wood. So it's always good in between prime and your finish coat to give it a soft sand with a very, very fine sandpaper. Creates an ultra smooth surface and opens up the primer just a little bit to allow the paint to cure to it. Then you hit it with 2 coats of finish paint and you're all done. The trick after you paint your cabinets is to make sure that you don't mess with them for at least 24 to 48 hours. I would say at least 24, but if you could do 48 hours, do 48 hours. Gives the paint proper time to cure. Make sure it's not too cold or else it won't cure correctly. And there you go. That's the process for stain to paint cabinets.